Hey, how you doing? It's the question that plagues us every time we buy a new board. FCS or Futures fins? But to make a decision about which system to go with, it's a good idea to know more about them both. So I'll cover off on that first, then I'll tell you which system I'm currently committed to. Once we bought that first board and that first set of fins, and then as we acquired more boards and more sets of fins, we tended to stay with the same fin system so that we could make the most out of our fin purchases. But what if you wanted to change? Some surfers bite the bullet and change fin systems, but most of us stay in the same lane that we originally chose. I've had both FCS and Futures systems over the more than 50 plus years of my surfing life. I've settled on one because I think it's better than the other. Of course, FCS and Futures aren't the only fin systems in existence, but they are the most popular, and for the majority of us, it's a choice between the two. So let's look at FCS first. FCS was developed in 1994 by Australian Brian A. Whitty. He came up with a two-plug, two-tab system that required screws to lock the fins in place. There were numerous problems with the original FCS system, including patent issues. In 2013, the improved FCS2 system was launched. Again a two-tab system, but it only required one plug, not the two plugs of the original system. The key innovation? You can just clip the fins in and they'll lock in place, without the need for screws. You can though use screws front and back if you want to. The original FCS system and the FCS2 system are both in use, although the FCS2 system is much more widely used now. So what are the pros and cons of the FCS2 system? Well, the pros? It's the most common fin system, so fins are easy to find and widely available. There's a wide variety of fins. And that clip-in system, a lot of people think that's a significant advantage. The cons? Well, that clip-in system doesn't work perfectly, so you can lose your fins more easily. The fin boxes of the FCS2 system sustain damage easier, and the fins are harder to remove. There was even a tool that was developed to help you take the fins out. Let's take a look at the Futures fin system now. Futures got going in 1996 when brothers Vince and Tony Longo developed it in California. It's a one-tab system with one screw locking the fin in place. This original design continues to exist today. So what are the pros and cons of the Futures fin system? Well, the pros? The fin is very secure because it's got one tab and it's strong along the entire base. The fins are easy to put in and take out, and there's a wide variety of fins available. The cons? Well, it takes a little bit more time to screw that one screw in than it does to clip a fin in. Most surfboard manufacturers offer their boards with both systems, but there are some board makers who only offer one of the systems. At the time of making this video, the Tolhurst Harley Ingleby boards only come in FCS, while the Firewire and Lost boards only come with Futures. Just taking a moment here to ask you to like and subscribe if you are finding this video useful, by hitting the subscribe button over there. There's one further point I'd like to discuss though. If you do some research into fins, you'll find that everybody talks about fin area, fin size, the depth, the base, the rake or sweep, the foil or the flex. But there's one thing that doesn't get discussed very much, and that's cant. Cant is the angle that the fin leans out from the base of the fin in relation to the bottom of the board. FCS2 fin boxes come with a variety of cants, being 0, 3, 5 and 9 degrees. The fins themselves are straight. Futures fin boxes don't have the cant built into them. The cant is built into the Futures fins. So with FCS2, the surfboard maker decides the cant of your fins. And with Futures? Well, with Futures fins, the cant is decided by the company, and Futures sets them primarily at 6.5 degrees. Which is the better option? Well, I'll leave that to you to decide. You can see there are arguments for and against for both FCS2 and Futures systems. The single biggest argument for FCS2 seems to be the clip-in system without the need for screws. But then the fins can come out more easily too, so you can lose them. And if you put the screws into the FCS2 system, then that negates the major advantage over the Futures boxes. One of the other arguments you'll see is that more pros and many of the best pros use the FCS2 system. I'd be interested to know, though, whether or not they put the screws in when they compete. I think they would, because they can't afford to lose their fins in a heat. The other thing about pros, though, is that they don't pay for their fins anyway, so it doesn't matter that much if they lose them. They'll just be replaced. For those of us who pay for them, however, it hits us big in the pocket every time we have to buy new fins. So what system do I use? Well, I think that's becoming clear. The 4 boards I currently serve, they all have Futures fin boxes. I had the original FCS system and I swapped to Futures because I thought it was the better fin system. When FCS 2 came along, I saw that it still had problems with it, which really reaffirmed my belief that Futures is the better system. Now, I don't think this argument between FCS 2 and Futures is ever going to go away. There are proponents for both systems and there are opponents to both systems. It's just that I have chosen the Futures systems to support. However, if you buy a new board, as I'm about to for the upcoming summer when I'm considering buying a mid-length, you have to think about what fin system you're going to choose. And as I'm already committed to Futures and like them, I'll be staying with them. If you want to see what mid-lengths I'm considering, you can take a look at this video here. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe if this video has been useful to you, and I'll see you again soon.